welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to cover the charge action in Dark Heresy. Charging is an action that anyone can take in Dark Heresy. It requires a full action and let your target be at least 4 meters away. If you can meet those conditions, you may move up to 3 times your agility bonus in meters, and once you reach your target, you may make a single melee attack at plus 20. Charging is a very useful action to just keep in mind for any melee-focused character. Normally on a turn, if you take a full move, you can only move twice your agility bonus, so getting an extra 50% movement and a whole melee attack out of a charge instead of a full move is quite useful. It is, however, unlikely that you will be able to chase opponents down or prevent them from fleeing with this action, because anyone can also run, which allows them to move up to 4 times their agility bonus, which, unless you have a very large discrepancy in agility bonus between yourself and your target, does mean that it is still possible to run away from a charging character. With charge being such a universally useful action for helping melee characters get in range, there aren't actually a ton of ways to make it even better than it already is. One of those ways comes in the Accurate World Homeworld from the Enemy Within expansion book, which grants you, as a homeworld bonus, the Brutal Charge 2 trait, which means every time you charge, you just deal 2 extra damage on the hit that results from that charge. There are also a few talents you can take to buff your charge, the first one being Hard Target at Tier 2. This requires an agility of 40 and grants you, whenever you charge, a minus 20 malice to hit you with ranged attacks until the start of your next turn. This is useful during the charge if somebody is trying to overwatch you and get a hit in before you can close the distance, but it is also useful if you manage to finish off an opponent in melee after your charge and you're stood out mostly in the open. You'll still have that minus 22 ballistic skill test to hit you through to your next turn, at which point you can make a new charge at a different enemy. Next is Preternatural Speed, a Tier 3 talent requiring weapon skill 40 and agility of 50. This allows you, when you make a charge action, to double your normal charge movement. So your total movement on the charge is 6 times your agility bonus, which is an extremely long distance and makes it so that it is actually pretty trivial for you to chase down even enemies who try to run away from you. And finally we have Thunder Charge, another Tier 3 talent requiring a strength of 50. This allows you, when you charge, to make opposed strength tests against enemies in the path of your charge, and each one you win, you knock that opponent down to the ground and continue charging towards your intended target. This allows you, if things are lined up right, to knock prone 1 or 2 or 3 enemies on your way to your actual target. Unfortunately, that's about the end of things that directly benefit charges in Dark Heresy. However, there is one more thing we can look at if you plan on doing a lot of charging, which is trying to find a suitable weapon. Obviously, since at the end of your charge, you only get to make a single melee attack, you really want a weapon that has the highest potential damage for single hits in the game. And there are 2 in particular that come to mind, both from the Enemies Beyond Splat book. The first is the Eben's Hammer, which deals 2d10 plus 6 energy damage with penetration of 10. It has the Demon Bane, Power Field, and Unwieldy traits, which are relatively inconsequential to our evaluation, but it adds double the user's strength bonus to damage instead of the normal single strength bonus addition. The other option is the Thunder Hammer, which deals slightly less base damage at 2d10 plus 4 energy with a penetration of 10. However, if you're wielding it in two hands, you actually get a plus 2 additional damage, meaning that your base damage is equivalent to the Eben's Hammer. It also gets that doubled strength bonus to damage, and it has the Concussive 2 trait, meaning that if you are struck by the Thunder Hammer, you have to make a toughness test at -20 or be stunned, and if you are dealt damage greater than your strength bonus, you're automatically knocked prone. So that's all for this week's video. I imagine this was going to be shorter than most of the other videos, because there just isn't a ton of direct support for charging. That doesn't, however, make charging bad. It's still a very useful ability to have in order to close into melee combat with enemies that like to hide in the background. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll come next time for continued Dark Heresy coverage. But most importantly, I hope you have a happy day.